Alright guys, Tactical here back again today. Yesterday we discussed Parasite and the whole 15,000 pro point debacle really, and very interesting decision that Activision and the CDL have decided to go with, by giving a load of pro points to players that are substitutes for professional teams, which really makes it very difficult for a lot of the amateur guys. So today, Parasite is, last night in the 2K, Parasite said a few choice words right on the matter, showed his frustrations, not necessarily towards the players involved, but towards the system more generally. So we want to talk about that today, and a bit of Twitter beef and Twitter drama kind of went down over the last few hours or so as well. So like, if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Before we get into that though, I wanted to discuss the esports awards that happened last night. I'll just go through a few things, because of course the esports awards, national thing this time, I think it was held in a national thing, what am I on about? International, of course, annual thing that was held in Texas, and I just thought this was kind of funny. Dr. Disrespect won the Streamer of the Year, and Enable says, "You're lucky I don't stream, Doc, it'd be curtains for you," and yeah, Disrespect fires back with some funny comments, and just wanted to go through as a bit of an homage to the guys without which Call of Duty would not be where it is, and I would not be sitting here talking to you guys. The channel wouldn't exist, because Call of Duty wouldn't exist to the same degree it is right now, and like these guys, Sundance, Scump, Nadeshot, Hector, Fwiz, of course, these original five, and I thought this picture was pretty sick as it is. Then there was an even sicker one, which is this. So you've got Scump, you've got Sundance. Sundance looks like such a boss man here. Look at him. One of the OGs from back in the MLG days, of course. Hector Rodriguez. Nadeshot's looking happy as hell. Yeah, Dr. Disrespect and Fwiz, of course. If you guys haven't been around so long, maybe you don't know that Fwiz used to be a caster for the scene ages ago, back in the Black Ops 2 days, and he's been around before that. And now he's gone on to be the head of content, I think, at YouTube Gaming. So he's done incredibly well. Without these guys, we would not be, and not necessarily Dr. Disrespect, but even then, he was involved in the Call of Duty days, Advanced Warfare. He was a developer, designed a couple of the maps. I think he was responsible for Solar, and maybe a couple of other ones in the Advanced Warfare days. So yeah, just paying homage to the guys without which we wouldn't be, the way I say that makes it sound like I wouldn't be born or something, but you know what I mean. So yeah, James Crowder as well. So Crowder Replays won runner-up in the Coach of the Year, so I thought I'd bring that to your guys' attention. And of course, Simp actually won the Rookie of the Year as well, so this is the video of it. So Kenny gave the award over to Simp pretty much, because Kenny won it last year, and this year Simp beat him in the World Championship Grand Finals, right? And then he has passed the award. So yeah, Simp gives a nice little speech. I might just play this for you guys on screen, how that might be a thing to do. And yeah, Kenny hands over the award. So pretty nice little moment, of course.
At first, I just want to say thank you to Esports Awards and everyone for making this possible, and just hosting this awards every year helps the esports scene incredibly. And secondly, I just want to thank everyone, all the fans, the United guys, everyone last year who helped me just start my career, basically, to get here. Thanks to my family, thanks to my friends, everyone. Thank you.
Esports Console Rookie of the Year is a great award to win. At the same time, there's not too many console esports, and obviously Call of Duty is the biggest one of them, I guess, so it makes sense, but still it's cool to see that Call of Duty gets a lot of representation here. I know that the judging panel for these has a lot of Call of Duty representation there as well, so that's maybe kind of why we see this, but at the same time it's still great to see. And some other guys got some mentions as well, in addition, of course, so to Nadeshot winning the Esports Personality of the Year, which is just so cool. I don't know why I feel proud of Nadeshot, because it just doesn't make sense, but it's just great to see, right? A guy who way back in the day used to work at McDonald's, then he was a pro Call of Duty player, made a name for himself, helped build the scene, and now he's the founder and CEO of this 100 Thieves organization, which is absolutely popping off beyond belief. So just really cool for Call of Duty more generally. Yeah, honestly, just great to see. It's cool to see esports represented like this in a nice light, and everyone loves to see it. So yeah, thought I'd mention that to you guys before we get into the next couple of things I wanted to mention. Yeah, this final picture as well between Nadeshot and Scub. The old duo, family isn't always blood, Nadeshot says, and yeah, they've been at it for a very long time. Without these two guys, the scene would not be anywhere near where it is today. Arguably, are pretty much guaranteed, I suppose, the two biggest contributors in Call of Duty esports to the success that it has had, and the success that it will continue to have going forwards, with any luck, hopefully. We'll have to see, of course. I definitely have my queries about the upcoming season, but you never know, who knows. Anyway, so Intel Call of Duty wanted to run this past you guys. I did mention it briefly yesterday, but I didn't go into detail. So the 15,000 pro point, the thing that's happened, obviously a few names have been given these 15,000 pro points, and that kind of implies that they're going to be on a team. I think the Turn Up Too Easy is going to be a substitute on the Atlanta team. I maybe heard that somewhere. But we've also got General rumored to go to the Chicago Huntsmen. Cinder, of course, was rumored as a coach for, I think he was rumored as a coach for OpTic Gaming, actually. So it's a little bit interesting what's happening here. The OpTic Gaming Los Angeles team. Then, of course, TJ did the tweet, which we haven't actually looked at yet, but is going to be coming up in probably a week's time, actually. You'll see that video. But he did a tweet effectively saying, coaches, all they do is sit there and record the minimap. So I wonder if maybe they were working with Sender for a little bit behind the scenes, and then TJ and the other guys decided maybe this isn't, beneficial to us. So they decided to keep him off the payroll, and now he might be going to the Huntsmen. Quite interesting. Blast, of course, Los Angeles Guerillas is heavily rumored, and Chino maybe on that Los Angeles OpTic as well, and Happy as well, a name you guys may remember, OP Suda, from way back in the day. Could be Subliners, second substitute as well. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And also wanted to mention the 2K is going on today, and the things that I'm just about to discuss happened effectively last night as a result of what was going on in the 2K. By the time this video comes out, a lot of things will have already been set in stone, so I'll probably end up discussing that in a bit more detail tomorrow. So this is what I pretty much wanted to share. Parasite did this clip yesterday after winning a series, I guess, in the 2K as far as I can understand it. And yeah, it's just a 30-second clip. Thought I'd share it with you guys.
I was one off a chopper, bro, playing mid-street.
Our last series was closer than this one.
At us. Domination.
Yeah,
Bro,
they can take their 15K gifted pro
guys,
points and
good
shove
shit,
them up
man.
their fucking ass.
Right up there.
Whoa.
Hagrid.
Yo, I
Chill,
love
biggie.
fucking
Chill,
SND
chill,
on
chill,
Cave
biggie.
and SND
What? That
last
shit's
map,
a
bro.
fucking joke.
Bro.
Those SNDs guys, we just
My
Nah, we
career,
iced
stayed
up,
focused,
we
bro.
iced
Good
up.
shit.
Yeah, we
my career literally
back,
is
man. I love
robbed
that.
by people who don't fucking deserve it.
We did a great job playing our lives that second side.
Bro,
Smart
I'm a
side.
little different, dude.
Yeah.
So Tom Gravity comes out, of course, who's now going to be a substitute on the Atlanta FaZe, and he says, why are you talking trash? You've literally been blessed onto 2 Pro League teams in the last 3 years and have got dropped from each one. No disrespect to your teammates, but I'm not just going to let you talk trash. And Parasite effectively claps back with, I wasn't dropped from any of my last Pro League teams. EG dropped out of CoD, Ghost Gaming dropped out of CoD, and Midnight was on to the end of the year, which, is true. You get blessed on a sub spot because of your IRL friends. Blessed garbage, Parasite says. So, he's pretty kicking off here. Of course, Tom Gravity, a guy who a lot of people rate as being pretty damn good. He was on that FaZe Black team last year that won the amateur bracket at Fort Worth. And then all of those guys who were on that team, the likes of Simp, Celium, I think they went on to bigger and better things, right? Joining the proper FaZe clan. And I think Gravity was the only guy that was on that team. Phantoms was on the team as well. The only guy that was on that team that didn't end up making it into proper Pro League team. So Gravity now has managed to be a substitute for the Atlanta FaZe. Of course, this guy is friends with the guys on that team, right? The likes of Simp, the likes of Celium and these individuals, and I think Easy Mac as well. Their coach gets along with him pretty well. So definitely that is probably part of the reason why he's on the team, but also people seem to rate him as a pretty good player. He might be a decent substitute anyway, and has done decent things in the Black Ops 4 season as well, by winning the Fort Worth Open, for example. So there's obviously both sides to the story here, but this is what Parasite comes out with. I thought Gravity had an interesting reply to this, really, given that if there's anything that Gravity could bring up against Parasite, probably the one not to bring up is accolades. My accolades without being blessed onto a Pro League spot are better than yours. Fact. Highly questionable, given that he did win champs back in 2013. I guess maybe it doesn't really matter, it's a long time ago, a lot of people would say. But still, if you're talking accolades, Parasite has kind of been there and done it. And yeah, let's just go through some more things here. So yeah, this is what I said, Turn Up Too Easy. You made 2 orgs drop from COD tough scenes. Hey bro, we get your Simp we're your friends with Simp and made you Maniac. Nice sub spot. Stick to S&D tournaments because that performance in the 2K was horrendous. And yeah, and Maniac replies with this. To be honest, this kind of sums up the situation. I don't think Haggy is doing himself any favors here, right? You got it wrong. When everything is said and done, talent and accolade aside, it all comes down to how you treat and act towards people. To be honest with you, the way you have and have always treated people is not helping you at all, man. And yeah, so, this is what he replies with. Accolades, you won an AM event with Simp and Celium, then you got left in the dust because you're what? Garbage? Lucky you're friends with people, because if you had the road and were looked down upon like me, you'd be teaming with Juju or something. Listen, keep taking undeserved Pro League spots to you know, to play badly, right? And then Envoy wades in on the matter. Took my squad's 5-2 record because, of course, Parasite joined that Midnight team last season after things went pear-shaped with that. Bro, you literally had a top 2 team and I outplaced you at Champs because they came top 32. You also used to boot and keyboard. It's a pretty known thing that Envoy back in the day used to be a cheater, keyboard or whatever. Why are you getting involved? You have a history of cheating. The past will never change, but all we can do is move on. You act like you're superior to people trying to turn this dream to a reality just like you. You talk, but when it comes down to it, where are your results? Violated by AMS of the PLQ last year to back in the Pro League. Blessed. Royal Rumble would like to sell tickets. Exactly. Things are kicking off, right? And look, I think at the end of the day, Parasite comes out with these tweets just to try and like clear things up at the end and keep things on a nicer note, I guess. So he says, I have to clarify, I have no issues with anyone who got blessed with a bad system. Nothing wrong with taking opportunities given to you. My problem is the system itself. Everything said in game was just me being hyped and a chip on my shoulder. Everything I said on Twitter is me defending myself, my accomplishments and my career, which I'll continue to do if questioned. Just because I'm not a toxic teammate now doesn't mean I'm not going to stop talking smack or being competitive to other teams. Take that how you will. Gravity replies with a heart, and Decimate says, no way you're going to send a heart after all your boys went to war with you. Parasite's like, where are my boys, like, backing up? And, you know, Fargo came in. Space Against My Man was 1v10 and against all the barrage. So I just thought this is quite interesting, right? Like, I understand the difficulty of Parasite not being able to get on a substitute spot on a Pro League team, and as a result, not getting these pro points and other people. The system, obviously, is not great as it is right now. We talked about it yesterday. At the same time, I think the kind of individual that Parasite is makes it quite difficult to pick him up as a substitute. He's not a guy that you can easily substitute into a team, right? You kind of have to build your team dynamics and your chemistry around a guy like Parasite. He's an in-game leadership type figure. You can't pick him up as a substitute and just swap him in as an easily interchangeable player. He might be a good player, he might be a talented player, and you know, he's definitely shown it that he still has some degree of talent over the last couple of years or so when he has got opportunities in the Pro League, but he's not a guy you can easily substitute into a team. So it makes sense why teams haven't decided to get him as a substitute. And, you know, obviously that's difficult for him and I can understand the frustrations. But at the same time, he's not doing himself any favors, right, doing this on Twitter. And I'm sure he feels himself hard done by. But at the same time, like, it's not really a good look, right? When all the substitutes and all that have been finally confirmed, I'll go into the players that didn't manage to make it into the league and do a video on that and talk about next steps for them and what we can expect going forwards, because it's a very difficult season for you right now, especially if the guys that do have the sub spots and do have those pro points on those teams, those 15,000, don't necessarily want to team with you. You're going to have a very difficult time getting funded to events. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Leave your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.